Okay, let's unpack this. We've all heard the stories, right? People losing, significant money, sometimes fortunes, just like that, in the crypto world.
Yeah.
And you might automatically think, oh, it was some incredibly sophisticated technical hack, maybe a flaw in the code, something super complex.
Right, something only a blockchain wizard could figure out.
Exactly. But what if the real reasons people lose money are often, well, much simpler and, dare I say, much more human?
That's precisely the core insight that just leaks out from the sources we looked at for this deep dive. This isn't really about dissecting complex smart contracts or zero-day exploits.
Yeah.
It's about understanding the real security risks in crypto, drawing straight from this material, and maybe most importantly, figuring out the practical ways you can actually protect yourself.
So our mission in this deep dive is pretty clear. Cut through the noise, pull out the absolute must-know insights and fundamental rules from these sources to help you navigate crypto securely. And right from the jump, the material identifies something it calls the trio of loss in crypto. It says it's driven by fear, greed, and neglect.
And what's immediately fascinating is this strong emphasis that losses aren't primarily down to, technology failing us,
Right.
but down to avoidable human errors. And that's a really crucial shift in perspective, I think.
Why is that?
Because it puts the power and, the responsibility squarely back onto the individual.
It really does. And the sources give us this incredibly sharp kind of real-world example right at the start.
Oh, yeah, the Mohammed story.
Yeah, Mohammed, described as a smart software engineer. So this isn't someone technically naive.
Right at all.
He'd spent years building up a portfolio, got about $50,000 in Ethereum, apparently, and then lost it all instantly
And how?
by clicking a link in an email that looked exactly like it was from his legitimate trading platform.
Ugh. Classic phishing scam. Expertly crafted, sounds like.
Exactly.
And that story just hammers home such a critical point. Even being really smart, technically, isn't like a free pass in this environment.
Yeah.
The sources are pretty blunt about it. They essentially say, don't let your intelligence make you complacent. Never ever bypass the basic security steps.
Yeah.
Muhammad's experience is just such a harsh lesson. Anyone, doesn't matter how smart, can be a target if they let their guard down on the basics. Basic vigilance.
And that connects perfectly to a quote the sources pulled in from Nassim Taleb. You know the one.
Let me guess.
Yeah.
Risk is not knowing what you are doing.
Wait, but in not knowing what you were risking.
Right.
Yeah.
And if we apply that wisdom to the crypto world, the message is just starkly clear, isn't it?
Oh, so.
Understanding the security landscape,
Yeah.
truly knowing what specific risks exist and how they actually show up, that's your absolute foundational layer of defense.
Okay.
If you don't understand how you can lose your crypto, well, you're already playing a dangerous game. You're already behind.
So the critical prerequisite, the point the sources really, really hammer home, is you absolutely must study and deeply understand these security basics, these fundamental rules of the road.
Before you even think about putting real money in.
Right. Before you dip a toe in with real assets. It's not like optional background reading.
No, it's the essential survival manual. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Think of it less like studying for a test and maybe more like learning how to buckle your seatbelt and check your mirrors before you drive a car.
Good analogy.
So this material then moves into laying out these fundamental security principles, framing them as the non-negotiable rules you just need to engrave into your brain if you're going to be in crypto.
Okay, let's get into them.
Yeah.
What's the first absolute essential the sources highlight?
Always, and I mean always, meticulously verify addresses before sending any crypto, any at all.
Meticulously. So double check, triple check.
Exactly. Double check, triple check. Because fundamentally, blockchain transactions are irreversible.
Right. No undo button.
No undo button. Once you hit send, those coins are on their way. And if you send them to the wrong address, maybe it's a typo or a copy-paste error where you grab the wrong thing, or worse, a malicious address from a scam.
They're just gone.
Gone forever. The sources note just how many people have lost assets simply by messing up this one seemingly basic step.
Wow.
It's often cited as the most common cause of loss, especially for beginners.
That's chillingly simple, but devastating. Okay, moving on. What's the next critical principle?
Be acutely aware of phishing. Constantly guard against it.
Which brings us back to a Muhammad story.
Exactly. The danger is clicking links from untrusted or, suspicious sources.
Okay.
And this raises a really important point the sources emphasize. You should never click through an email link or a pop-up ad or a message link claiming to be from your exchange or wallet service. Not to log in, not to access your account, never.
So how do you access them safely then?
The only safe way, according to this material, is to always type the known, correct URL directly into your browser's address bar.
Type it yourself.
Type it yourself, or use official, verified apps that you've downloaded from legitimate sources. Muhammad's $50 K loss. That's the ultimate painful case study for failing on this exact point.
Got it. Type the URL, don't click the link, simple, vital. What's the next rule they stress?
Strong, unique passwords. For every single account, it's non-negotiable.
Okay, we hear this for everything online, but why is it so critical in crypto?
Well, it's always good practice, right?
Mm.
But in crypto, where one compromised account can literally mean total irreversible loss, it's paramount. The danger of reusing passwords across different platforms is just immense.
Because if one less important site you use that same password on gets breached?
Exactly. Attackers grab those credentials and then they try them on your more valuable crypto accounts. It's called credential stuffing. It happens all the time.
So what's the solution? Remembering hundreds of crazy passwords.
Well, the sources strongly recommend using a secure password manager.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it takes away that burden of remembering dozens of complex, unique passwords, and it helps you generate truly strong ones that you wouldn't think of yourself.
Makes sense. Okay, another point they make is about keeping your software updated. Wallet software, exchange apps, even your computer or phone's operating system.
That's right, because developers are constantly finding and patching security vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
Running outdated software. It's basically like leaving known backdoors open for attackers to just walk through.
So updates aren't just about new features.
No, definitely not. They're often crucial security upgrades. Ignoring them is risky.
Okay. And this next one feels like pure common sense, but it's amazing how many people still fall for it. Be extremely suspicious of any offer that sounds too good to be true.
Yeah, the material offers a very simple kind of golden rule here. If it looks unrealistically good, promises of guaranteed high returns, claims of zero risk, maybe urgent demands for you to send funds to unlock something bigger, it is overwhelmingly likely to be a scam. These play directly on that greed aspect of the trio of loss we mentioned earlier. Pure temptation.
And speaking of those urgency tactics, the sources provide another relatable example here, Sarah.
Ah, yes, Sarah the survivor.
Right. An investor who's apparently been in crypto since 2017, navigated multiple bull and bear markets, survived various scam waves, and her simple secret to avoiding, getting fleeced.
Oh, was it?
She follows one rule religiously. She absolutely never makes investment decisions under time pressure.
That's key. Scammers thrive on creating that sense of urgency. Buy now or miss out forever, or you need to send this immediately.
FOMO, fear of missing out.
Exactly. They use that pressure to force you into making quick decisions without doing proper research. And this taps into both the fear of missing profit, and the greed, the desire for fast returns components of that trio.
So Sarah's discipline.
Yeah.
Just stepping back, taking a breath, doing the due diligence no matter how urgent it feels.
That's what protected her over the years, according to the sources. That discipline is powerful.
It really is. Which leads us nicely to the next critical rule, especially if you're looking at investing in specific crypto projects.
You must check the reputation and legitimacy of the project before you commit any money.
Due diligence. Absolutely non-negotiable. And this means really digging in, researching the team behind it. Who are they? What's their actual track record? Do they have real partners? Is there genuine technical progress happening? Or is it all just slick marketing and, hype?
Yeah.
The sources highlight how many projects raise millions based on a glossy website and big promises, only to turn out to be outright scams or just fizzle out, leaving investors with nothing.
It really does circle back to that idea of reputation, doesn't it? Or maybe the lack of it in many new, shiny projects.
It does. And the sources actually bring in a Warren Buffett quote here.
Ooh, which one?
It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it.
Classic. How do they connect that to crypto security?
Well, what's really insightful is how they adapt it. They point out that in this world, the crypto world, it can take just seconds, not even minutes. Seconds.
Seconds. For one simple security error, like sending to the wrong address, clicking that phishing link, to completely ruin your financial standing in that moment. To lose everything you might have spent years building up.
Wow.
It just starkly illustrates the fragility of your assets if you're not relentlessly careful.
So, pulling all these threads together, the human errors, the specific rules like checking addresses and avoiding phishing, the examples of Mohammed and Sarah, what does this material suggest as the overall takeaway? What's the big picture here?
It kind of synthesizes everything by concluding that security in crypto isn't just about following a checklist of technical procedures.
Okay.
It is, at its absolute core, about adopting a specific mindset.
A mindset of what kind of mindset?
Skepticism.
Okay.
Constant skepticism, double-checking everything, assuming nothing is inherently safe until you've personally verified it yourself. It's about cultivating this level of vigilance that, honestly, might feel a bit excessive in traditional finance.
Right.
But is absolutely essential in this new paradigm.
And the ultimate, maybe the most sobering reality highlighted in this material, especially in the decentralized world of crypto, is this. You, the individual, you are the sole person responsible for the security of your assets.
Yeah, that's the kicker. Unlike traditional banking where you have institutional protections, maybe insurance,
Yeah.
mechanisms for fraud recovery.
FDIC, that kind of thing.
Exactly. In the decentralized crypto space, there's generally no central bank to call, no authority who can step in and reverse a transaction or recover your funds if you mess up or get scammed.
So it's all on you.
It's all on you. Your private keys, your security practices, they are literally your only defense. It boils down to personal responsibility and constant, unrelenting vigilance.
Wow. It truly puts the onus entirely on the individual. So wrapping this deep dive up then, the key message reinforced across these sources seems to be, while the tech can be complex, a huge chunk of crypto lexes stem from fundamentally human vulnerabilities. That trio again, fear, greed, and neglect. And protecting yourself isn't just about being technically savvy. It's about mastering these basic, non-negotiable security rules, adopting that skeptical mindset, and really internalizing that you are your own security system, your own bank, in a way.
Perfectly put. It's a powerful reminder that the weakest link, so often, is the human element, not the code.
Yeah.
And the material leaves us with a little peek into their next exploration.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
Teases a really interesting concept. How exactly are digital currencies like Bitcoin actually created?
The whole mining process.
Right. Are they really just conjured out of nothing through this process, like
Yeah.
digital alchemy?
That is a pretty fascinating idea to dig into the fundamental origins of these assets we're talking about securing. Where do they even come from? Definitely something to mull over, maybe look into further on your own.